My name is Sarah Bennett, and at 37, I thought my life was steady, a structure I'd built to hold everyone up. I'm a project manager, the kind who tames chaos, weaving timelines, budgets, and egos into order for construction projects that shape city skylines. I work from home, my laptop a soft hum through late nights, earning enough to keep those around me comfortable. My husband, Nathan, his mother, Diane, his brother, Caleb, his cousin, Tara, his aunt, Ellen, they all lean on me, their weight a constant I never questioned. I married Nathan 9 years ago, stepping into his loud, needy family and told myself it was just how love worked. They're messy, always spinning plans I'd never choose, but I liked being the one who made them real. I thought it was devotion. Now I see it was something else, a slow theft of my own edges. They don't just rely on me, they expect me to carry them, and I'm not sure I can anymore. This Hawaii trip was the latest demand. Nathan brought it up 6 months ago, sprawled on our couch, his blue eyes bright, scrolling through beach photos on his phone. Sarah, let's take the family to Maui. Somewhere big, somewhere warm, a real escape. I could have said no. I could have pointed to Diane's new furnace we funded, Caleb's endless loans that vanish, Tara's credit card I paid off, Ellen's vague ventures I bankrolled. But I didn't. I said yes because I always do. I booked everything, flights for 8, a beachfront condo with glass walls, snorkeling tours, a luau, a helicopter ride Ellen called her dream. It wasn't just me and Nathan. Diane insisted on coming, Caleb tagged along, Tara invited herself, Ellen signed up, and Nathan added his college friend, Rachel, without a word to me. I didn't flinch. I paid, planned, confirmed every detail, my fingers flying over the keyboard, my credit card warm from use. I pictured us on that beach, Nathan's hand in mine, the waves whispering, the sun soft on my skin. It felt like it would mean something, a moment to hold us together. But a shadow crept in, quiet, unplaceable. Nathan's late nights, his phone buzzing at odd hours, Diane's sly comments about Rachel needing a friend. I'd nod, keep working, tell myself it was nothing, just family noise. I was wrong. I'm Sarah Bennett, and I thought I was enough. I wasn't. I wake at 5:15 every morning, the house silent except for the faint hum of the fridge and the tick of the clock in the hall. I make coffee, black, no sugar, and carry it to my office, a cramped corner of the living room where my desk drowns under contracts, sticky notes, and a calendar scrawled with deadlines. My job is a grind, coordinating projects, chasing subcontractors, balancing budgets that teeter on collapse. It pays well, enough to cover the mortgage, Nathan's leased SUV, Diane's endless crises, Caleb's debts, Tara's whims, Ellen's schemes. I don't complain. I never have. Nathan's a graphic designer, freelancing when inspiration strikes, which is rare. He says he needs space to create, his voice light, like it's a law I should respect. I don't argue. I pay the bills, plan the dinners, keep the house humming. It's what I do. Diane lives 20 minutes away, in a sagging bungalow stuffed with faded curtains, chipped china, and sharp opinions. She calls me the practical one, her voice edged with something I can't name, like she's probing for weakness. Caleb, Nathan's brother, is 33 but lives like a teenager, drifting between dead-end jobs, borrowing money he never repays, crashing on our couch when his latest fling sours. Tara, their cousin, sweeps in with her loud laugh and big ideas, weekend getaways, new gadgets, always expecting my wallet to open. Ellen, Nathan's aunt, is quieter but just as needy, always pitching some hazy business that needs my cash. I give it. Nathan says it's family, his voice soft, and I believe him. I married him at 28, after meeting him at a client's gala, his charm pulling me in like a tide, easy smiles, quick wit, blue eyes that seemed to see me. His family came with him, a storm of noise and demands, and I thought I could handle it. I grew up with just my mom, who died when I was 22, her quiet life leaving me hungry for connection. Their chaos filled the silence, and I liked it at first. The Hawaii trip was meant to be a gift, a way to stitch us closer. Nathan pitched it in March, lounging on our couch, his phone glowing with images of turquoise waves. Maui, Sarah. Sun, beaches, the whole crew together. It'll be epic. I nodded, already budgeting in my head, the numbers stacking like bricks. By April, I'd booked it all: flights for 8, a condo with ocean views, snorkeling tours, a luau, a helicopter ride for Ellen's once-in-a-lifetime moment. I sent itineraries, confirmed reservations, triple-checked every detail, my evenings swallowed by spreadsheets and emails. Nathan kissed my forehead, said, "You're incredible." I believed him, the warmth of his words settling in my chest. But then I noticed things small at first, like cracks in a wall. Nathan's phone buzzing at 3 a.m., his quick glance before muting it, his fingers deft and secretive. Diane's smirks when she mentioned Rachel, Nathan's friend from college, who was going through a divorce and needs support. Caleb's offhand comments about Nathan hanging out with Rachel, his grin too casual. Tara's giggles when Rachel's name came up, her eyes darting to Nathan. I didn't ask. I kept working, kept planning, kept paying, my laptop's hum drowning the unease. One night, I overheard Nathan in the garage, his voice low, laughing into his phone. "She won't care, trust me." She never does. I stood by the kitchen sink, a sponge in my hand, the faucet dripping, and felt something cold coil in my chest. I didn't confront him. I went back to my desk, checked the Maui bookings, and told myself I was overthinking. Families are messy, I thought, their edges jagged, their voices loud. I could handle it. I always had. But the unease grew, a quiet pulse under my skin, and I couldn't shake it. 5 weeks before the trip, the pulse became a rhythm, steady, insistent. I was at my desk, finalizing a project timeline, the numbers sharp on the screen, when Nathan came home late, his hair mussed, his jacket slung over his shoulder, the scent of cologne too strong. "Client meeting," he said, not meeting my eyes, his voice too smooth. I nodded, my fingers still on the keyboard, the spreadsheet's grid holding me steady. His phone buzzed, a text lighting up the screen before he snatched it away, his movements quick, practiced. I didn't ask. I kept working, the numbers blurring, my coffee cold. But later, when he was in the shower, the water a faint hiss through the walls, I saw his phone on the counter, unlocked, its screen glowing like a confession. I don't know why I looked. I never had before, my trust in him a habit I hadn't questioned. But I did, my fingers moving before my mind caught up. A text from Rachel. "Can't wait for tomorrow. Same place." My stomach twisted, a slow, heavy knot, but I scrolled up, the screen cold under my thumb. Months of messages unfolded, flirty, intimate, a secret life laid bare, plans for dinners, drinks, a weekend in a hotel an hour from our house, booked while I worked late. "Sarah's too busy," one said. Rachel's words sharp. "She won't notice." Another from Nathan. "She's fine with anything." I set the phone down, my hands steady, and walked to my desk, the house silent except for the hum of my laptop and the distant water running. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just sat there, the words sinking into me like stones. Nathan was cheating. With Rachel. And he thought I'd never see it. I didn't say anything that night, the weight of it too heavy, my thoughts too raw. I went to bed, the sheets cold, and lay there, staring at the ceiling's faint cracks, Nathan's breathing even beside me, like nothing was wrong. I thought about the trip, the thousands I'd spent, the hours I'd poured into planning, every detail shaped by my hands. For them. For him. And he was laughing behind my back, texting her while I worked, his betrayal a quiet theft. The next morning, I made coffee, went to my desk, and kept going, my routine a shield. I didn't confront him. I wasn't ready, the truth too fresh, my mind still tracing its edges. I kept watching, though, my eyes sharper now. Nathan's late nights grew bolder, his excuses thinner, work drinks, old friends, his voice too casual. Diane called, her tone syrupy, asking if Rachel could bring a friend to Maui, someone to keep her company. "You're so generous, Sarah," she said, a smirk curling in her voice. I heard it, the taunt, and said, "Sure," my voice flat, giving nothing away. Caleb dropped by, sprawled on my couch, his sneakers scuffing the floor, and said, "Rachel's stoked for the trip." "Thanks for paying, Sarah." He grinned, like it was a game, his eyes sliding to his phone. I nodded, my face blank, and went back to my laptop, the screen's glow steadying me. Tara texted, adding a spa day to the trip, not asking, just assuming, her words bright with entitlement. I paid for it, my card swiping through, but every buzz of Nathan's phone, every mention of Rachel, made the rhythm louder, a drumbeat I couldn't ignore. I wasn't imagining it. They were hiding something, and I was the fool funding their charade. The truth broke open at Diane's dinner, 8 days before the trip, a night that felt like a stage set for my unraveling. Her bungalow was a circus, cars jammed in the driveway, voices spilling from the dining room, the air thick with wine and bravado. I drove over alone, Nathan texting he'd meet me there, his message curt, distracted. I walked in, the heat of the room hitting me, Diane at the head of the table, her gray hair pulled tight, waving a glass like she was toasting a victory. Caleb slouched beside her, picking at a roll. Tara was laughing too loud, her phone propped for a selfie. Rachel sat across, her red hair catching the light like a signal. Ellen was there, already tipsy, her cheeks flushed, and Diane's friend, Linda, sliced cornbread with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. An empty chair waited for Nathan, its presence loud in the crowded room. I slid into the one next to it, nodding at Linda, my hands folded, my face calm. The meal was chaos, plates clattering, stories overlapping, Diane's voice cutting through with complaints about her neighbor, Tara's plans for her Maui Instagram posts, Caleb's lazy jokes about the luau. I picked at my food, a dry piece of chicken, the fork heavy in my hand, and waited for Nathan, the minutes stretching, my pulse steady but loud in my ears. He arrived 40 minutes late, his smile too wide, his shirt wrinkled, his hair damp like he'd rushed. "Traffic," he said, dropping beside me, his cologne sharp, unfamiliar. I didn't look at him, my eyes on my plate, the chicken untouched. The conversation swirled, a tide pulling everyone but me. Then Rachel spoke, her voice light, cutting through the noise. "Sarah, you're so sweet to let me come to Maui. Nathan said it was all your idea." I set my fork down, the metal cold, my fingers still. My idea? I hadn't been asked, hadn't been consulted, the decision made in rooms I wasn't in. I looked at Nathan, waiting for him to correct her, to say something, but he was staring at his plate, his jaw tight, his fingers curled around his glass. Diane leaned forward, her eyes glinting like polished stones. "And we made a small change," she said, her voice smooth, rehearsed. "Ryan's coming too. Nathan's old roommate. It'll be fun." Ryan. The name landed like a blade, sharp, precise. Nathan's college friend, the one in those texts with Rachel, the one Nathan met for drinks too often, his name woven through their secret plans. I'd seen the messages flirty, late night, intimate, Nathan's words to Ryan, "Sarah won't care." I turned to Nathan, my voice flat, the room fading around us. "Ryan's coming to the trip I paid for?" He nodded, quick, his eyes on the table, his voice low. "Just a few days, Sarah. It's no big deal." Rachel giggled, then stopped, her hand covering her mouth, her eyes darting to Diane. Tara smirked, her phone forgotten. Ellen sipped her wine, watching me, her lips twitching. Linda coughed, hiding a smile, her knife still in the cornbread. Diane's voice cut through again, sharper now. Since you're always working, Sarah, we thought you could sit this one out. Ryan can take your spot. You don't mind, do you? The room went silent, every eye on me, their faces a gallery of expectation, waiting for me to nod, to agree, to let them rewrite my place. I felt my pulse, slow, steady, a quiet anchor. They'd planned this, all of them, Nathan, Rachel, Diane, maybe Tara, Ellen, Caleb, even Linda's knowing glance. They'd invited Ryan, knowing he was Nathan's lover, knowing I'd paid for every ticket, every room, every tour, and now they were pushing me out, their betrayal a choreography they thought I'd dance to. I stood, my chair scraping, the sound loud in the quiet. I'm done, I said, my voice even, cutting through their stares. Nathan reached for my arm, his fingers brushing my sleeve, but I was already moving, past the table, past their frozen faces, out the door into the night. The air was heavy, jasmine and heat, the stars blurred above. I heard Diane's voice, low, smug, she'll come around. I kept walking, my shoes crunching on gravel, their laughter fading behind me, a distant echo. They thought I'd return, smile, pay, let them erase me. They were wrong, and the weight of that truth settled in me, calm, unyielding. I drove home, the road dark, the radio off, the silence of balm. The house was still when I arrived, just the hum of the air conditioner and the faint glow of my laptop on the desk. I stood in the kitchen, the tiles cold under my feet, and replayed the dinner, each moment sharp in my mind. Nathan's silence, Diane's smirk, Rachel's giggle, Ryan's name, their eyes waiting for my surrender. They'd planned it all, laughing while I worked, thinking I'd never push back, their betrayal a script they'd written for me. I poured a glass of water, the glass sweating in my hand, and sat at my desk, the Maui itinerary open on the screen, flights, condo, snorkeling, luau, helicopter ride, spa day, all in my name, all on my card. My money, my effort, my life, and they thought they could take it, reshape it, leave me behind. I opened the airline site, my fingers steady, my breath even. I canceled every flight, one by one, the confirmations piling up like bricks, each click a small reclaiming. Then the condo, the snorkeling, the luau, the helicopter ride, the spa day, gone, erased, the screen flashing with finality. I didn't hesitate, didn't flinch, didn't feel the anger I expected. Just a quiet hum, like the laptop's fan, steady, sure. When it was done, I leaned back, the chair creaking under me, and stared at the screen, the house silent around me, my mind clear. They'd misread me, seen my steadiness as weakness, my silence as consent. I wasn't the one who'd braked. I opened a new tab, searched for flights, just for me, my fingers moving with purpose. Lisbon came up, Portugal, all cobblestone streets and sea air, a place I'd dreamed of before Nathan, before his family's demands swallowed my own. I'd seen photos years ago, in a magazine at a doctor's office, the city's hills and tiles calling to something quiet in me. I booked a one-way ticket, leaving in 6 days, no return date, no need for one. I emailed the cancellations to Nathan, Diane, Caleb, Tara, Rachel, Ellen, Linda, the subject line simple, canceled. Just screenshots, no explanation, no apology. I hit send, watched it go, and felt nothing, not anger, not relief, just a stillness, like the air before dawn. I called Karen, my lawyer, a woman I'd met through a client, her voice sharp and steady even at midnight. "Sarah, what's going on?" she asked, her tone alert. I told her to start divorce proceedings, my voice flat, the words measured. "I'm leaving the country. Send me what I need to sign." She paused, then said, "I'll handle it." "You okay?" I said yes, though I wasn't sure, and we hung up. I walked to the bedroom, pulled a suitcase from the closet, and packed jeans, sweaters, boots, a notebook I hadn't opened in years, its pages yellowed but empty, waiting. I didn't need much, just enough to start. I zipped the suitcase shut, set it by the door, and went to bed, the sheets cold against my skin. I slept without dreaming, the house quiet, the weight of their betrayal already fading. 6 days later, I was gone, the decision as final as the click of the suitcase's lock. I drove to the airport, left my car in long-term parking, and boarded the flight to Lisbon. The planes hum a steady pulse, the world shrinking below me, Nathan's family slipping away with every mile, their voices fading to a distant murmur. I didn't check my phone until I landed, settling into a small hotel by the Tagus River, its waters glinting under the afternoon sun. The room was simple, a bed, a desk, a window framing tiled roofs and chimneys, the city's heartbeat faint but alive. It was enough, more than enough. I turned on my phone, let the notifications flood in, a cascade of their panic. Nathan's texts. Sarah, what the hell? Why'd you cancel everything? Call me. Diane's voicemails, shrill, venomous. You've destroyed this family. You selfish girl, fix this now. Caleb's lazy message. Not cool, Sarah. What's your deal? Tara's. This is so selfish. My followers were expecting Maui content, and now what? Rachel didn't write, her silence louder than words. Ellen sent a vague, let's talk, Sarah and Linda. You're overreacting, dear. I scrolled through their group chat, the one I'd been added to years ago, a digital cage of their demands. Diane was raging, Nathan pleading, Tara whining about her ruined photos, Caleb silent, probably drunk, Ellen trying to mediate, Linda offering platitudes. Someone described the airport. They'd shown up, all packed, in matching Maui vibes shirts Tara designed, their faces bright with expectation, only to find no tickets, no reservations, no trip. Diane had screamed at the gate agent, her voice echoing through the terminal. Nathan had stood frozen, his hands in his pockets. Tara had cried, her mascara streaking. Ellen had whispered to calm them. Rachel had slipped away, her red hair aflash in the crowd. I pictured it, their faces red, their plans crumbling, their paradise reduced to a tantrum in a sterile hall, and felt nothing, not even a flicker of guilt. I walked to the river that evening, the water dark under streetlights, Lisbon unfolding around me. Trams clattering on rails, voices spilling from cafes, the air sharp with salt and freshly baked bread. I bought a coffee, sat on a bench, the cup warm in my hands, and checked my phone again, the notifications a faint buzz against the city's hum. A message from my cousin, Laura, who'd never liked Nathan, her words steady. They're a mess, Sarah. The airport was a circus. Diane lost it. Nathan just stood there. Tara's sobbing on Instagram. You did the right thing. She sent a photo, blurry but clear enough. Diane yelling, her arms flailing. Nathan staring at the floor, a crowd watching, their faces curious, amused. I closed it, sipped my coffee, and watched a ferry glide across the river, its lights soft against the dusk. They'd built their dream on my labor, my money, my silence, and when I pulled it away, they fell apart, their voices shrill, their plans dust. I didn't care, the realization quiet but firm. Laura sent more screenshots of Nathan's texts to Rachel and Ryan, months old, a secret tapestry of lies, dinners, hotel stays, a weekend away while I worked late, my laptop's glow my only company. One from Rachel, she's too busy to notice. Another from Nathan to Ryan, Maui will be fun with you too. A hotel receipt, booked under Nathan's name, paid with my card, the numbers stark. I saved them for Karen, my fingers steady, the evidence a weight I'd carry to court. I wrote back to Laura, thanks. Keep me posted, my words brief, then shut off my phone and walked back to the hotel, the cobblestones uneven under my boots, the city's pulse steady around me. I wasn't running, wasn't hiding. I was done, the word a quiet vow. 2 weeks in, I was still at the hotel, my suitcase unpacked, my days a quiet rhythm of walking and thinking, Lisbon's hills and tiles a map I was learning by heart. The city was alive, its streets narrow and winding, its buildings painted in ochre and blue, the river a constant shimmer. I didn't check my phone often, letting their noise fade, But Laura kept me updated, her messages a thread to the life I'd left. She sent more screenshots, Nathan's texts to Rachel, to Ryan, a web of plans woven behind my back, their words casual, cruel. Sarah won't care, Nathan wrote, his confidence ablaze. She never does. A group chat where Diane schemed to fix me, her words sharp, Tara's agreement quick, Ellen's silence complicit, Caleb's shrugs a nod. A bank statement, forwarded by Laura, showed Diane charging consulting fees to my account for a company that didn't exist, her theft quiet but bold. I hadn't known, hadn't seen it, my trust a blindfold they'd tied. I forwarded it all to Karen, my voice flat when we spoke, the phone cool against my ear. Use it, I said, my words steady. She was building a case, not just for divorce, but for fraud, Diane's hands as dirty as Nathan's heart. I sat in a cafe that afternoon, a notebook open, my pen moving across the page. They lied, I wrote, the words stark. Not just Nathan. All of them. Diane's smirks, Tara's giggles, Ellen's silence, Caleb's shrugs, Linda's knowing glance, they knew, they laughed, they took. I closed the notebook, sipped my coffee, the taste bitter and warm, and watched a tram rattle by, its bell sharp in the air. I walked to the river, the water cold against my fingers when I trailed them along the railing and let the truth settle, heavy but clear. They thought I'd bend, break, stay silent. I hadn't. I swam that evening, the hotel's pool small but quiet, the water waking me, my strokes steady, my breath even. I wasn't hiding. I was starting point 3 months in. I moved from the hotel to a small apartment in the Alfama district, a one-bedroom with creaky floors and a balcony overlooking a plaza where kids kicked soccer balls and old women sold flowers, their voices a soft chorus. I bought it with savings Nathan didn't know about, a fund I'd hidden after Diane tried using my card for her business, my caution a quiet rebellion I hadn't named. I work freelance now, managing projects for Portuguese and Spanish clients, smaller gigs that leave room for my own hours. I sit at my kitchen table, the window open, Fado music drifting in, its mournful notes weaving through the air. The work is clean, steady mine. I've started painting again, something I gave up when Nathan called it cute but impractical, his voice light, dismissive. My canvases are messy, blues and oranges bleeding together, stacked against the wall, their flaws honest. I'm not good, but I don't care. It's mine, each stroke a choice. I swim mornings in a public pool by the river, the water sharp, grounding me, my body cutting through the cold. I'm learning Portuguese, my progress slow, my accent clumsy, but my teacher, Miguel, laughs and says, "Devagar, Sarah." Slowly. I like that, the permission to take my time, to build without rush. I've met people, their presence light, unburdened by demands. Sophia, a ceramicist at the market, invites me for coffee, her hands stained with clay, her laugh warm. Miguel shares stories of his daughters, his pride quiet but bright. They don't ask for anything, don't pull at me. They just are, their company a gift I'm learning to accept. Laura's updates come less often, their urgency fading, but they paint a clear picture. Nathan's back with Diane, his freelancing dead, his days spent in her cluttered bungalow, his eyes empty. Diane's posting online, calling me ungrateful, her words ignored, her followers dwindling. Tara's chasing new sponsors, her posts desperate, Rachel's with someone new, Ryan's dodging creditors, Ellen's silent, Linda's faded. They're fractured, stuck, their story unraveling. Laura sent a photo, Nathan, pale at Diane's, his hands in his pockets, his face hollow. I closed it, walked to the plaza, and bought bread from a vendor, the loaf warm in my hands. I didn't care, the realization steady, final. 6 months in, a letter arrived, slipped under my door, Nathan's handwriting shaky, uneven. "Sarah, I was wrong. I got caught up, didn't see what I had. I'm sorry. Can we talk?" I read it, the paper thin in my hands, and folded it, setting it on the table, the words too small, too late. Sorry, after the texts, the hotels, the lies, the years of taking. I didn't call, didn't write, didn't let it pull me back. I put it in a drawer, next to old receipts, their edges curling, and went to meet Sophia at a cafe, the plaza alive with vendors shouting, kids chasing a stray dog, the air thick with coffee and flowers. I ordered an espresso, sat outside, the cup warm, and watched the world move, its rhythm steady, unbroken. Nathan's words were just words, a ghost I didn't need. I thought about the old me, the Sarah who paid, nodded, let them carve pieces of her away. She's gone, not dead, just done, her shadow fading in Lisbon's light. I loved Nathan once, his laugh, his promises, the way his eyes crinkled when he smiled. But that was before the lies, before he chose Rachel, Ryan himself, before his family's hands reached into my life, taking what I gave. I don't hate him, don't hate them. They're just noise, a hum I've tuned out, their voices lost in the city's pulse. I swim daily, the pools chill my anchor, my strokes strong, my breath even. I paint at night, my hands smudged with color, canvases piling up, each one bolder. My Portuguese is better, enough to joke with Miguel, to order bread without stumbling. Sophia and I are close, sharing meals, splitting wine, our laughter soft but real. I hike weekends, taking trains to Sintra or Cascais, walking trails where the sea meets the cliffs, the air clean, sharp, alive. The earth smells of salt and stone, and I breathe it in, my steps steady, my heart quiet. 9 months since I left, the divorce finalized quietly, papers signed from my balcony, the plaza below loud with kids and music, the river glinting in the distance. I didn't celebrate, didn't need to. I sat there, a book open in my lap, and felt whole, the pieces of me gathered, reclaimed. Nathan's gone, legally, emotionally, his family with him. I don't check social media, but Laura's last message said they're silent, their story dead, Diane's moved, her bungalow sold, Nathan's scraping by at a retail job, Tara's irrelevant, her posts ignored, Rachel's vanished, Ryan's in jail for fraud, Ellen's faded. Linda's forgotten. They're nothing, their weight lifted, their voices silenced. My apartment is home, its walls lined with books, paintings, a coffee pot gurgling each morning, the scent weaving through the air. I work when I want, coding project plans, my laptop open on the table, the work steady, mine. I swim mornings, the water cold, alive, my body strong. I paint nights, my hands colorful, canvases everywhere, their shapes bolder, braver. I write now, a journal of thoughts, moments, truths, the pages filling with my own voice. They lied, I wrote last night, the words steady. I lived. I hike weekly, trains carrying me to Evora or Setúbal, trails where the earth hums, the sea a constant song. I read novels from used bookstores, stories of people breaking free, their pages worn but alive. Lisbon is mine, its hills, its secrets, its life, the city a mirror to the quiet strength I've found. I walk evenings, the streets alive, trams rattling, markets buzzing, the air thick with fish, wine, and possibility. I'm not lonely, not lost. I'm Sarah Bennett and I paid for the tickets. I canceled them. I walked away. Now I'm free, not loud, not proud, just living one quiet day at a time, in a city that's mine.